Oh, like, why is this eyebrow always so different? Hello, everyone. All right, let me go live on TikTok. His dad runs a racing team? I did not know that. George Russell fraud watch is officially on. Oh yeah. Oh, he just 360'd. Is Brendel gonna say that that's the most impressive thing ever, like he did with Max's 360? Sorry, I'm watching this replay. Um,
Yo,
Hello.
so is this a safe space?
Sure.
This is maybe the most hungover I have been in a very long time.
Tough day for you then.
So this is a real big rally, but this is also a real chasing. What's the hair of the dog?
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay.
I'm also pre-gaming for Habs Lightning.
Okay.
Tonight. So,
But
this is gonna be a spicy live. I'm just warning you.
what are your how your boy?
We'll get there. Okay.
Okay, 1
I
second.
need to be more. I need to be more drunk to talk about how my boy is ripping my heart out. Okay.
What are we talking about? How horrific what?
I need to be more drunk to talk about how my boy is ripping my heart out.
Ferrari, terrible strategy, but it ended up being fine. But Charles just is according to Martin Brundle at the beginning of the race, doing a randomly spinning and doing a 360 and keeping going is like the most impressive thing you can do at Formula One. So Charles goat watch.
Okay, let's have a. Okay.
Because that was an amazing start. Why were we talking about Max's spin for 10 minutes?
Charles, I was like almost like erotic in how impressed I was by him. His control to keep that car and let the other two who were never making an apex.
Yeah, no.
In a mud full of Sundays. His ability to just calmly stay on track and execute his plan. Oh, Charles, the man that you are.
And then I don't know how Max didn't hit him when they were side by side ish. Because I just saw Max. You just saw Max spin from the top, and then they like cut away, and I was like, "There's no way." And then, but you saw Charles come out the corner. I was like, "How?" Thank you, Max Verstappen, for not hitting him in that moment because I was utterly convinced that he was fucked.
So should we talk about the penalties? Should we lead with the penalties? Because here's the thing. I think Max deserves a penalty for the pit lane thing, but I don't know why they didn't just give him that one.
Yeah, like no, that was really stupid. Not the penalty. Like if he was over, he was over. Like there's no he either was or he wasn't. There's a camera that shows it. Max can't even see from where he's sitting. Like
yeah, this isn't a situation where the stewards are going to communicate information, right? Like Gasly Lawson, I understand why they didn't want to give a penalty on that one.
yeah, sometimes you want to.
Well, because it's turned out that he had a gearbox failure and like literally could not drive the car.
See, I don't like it. Yeah, I guess it just depends on like how you want to like do it. But to me, like I don't think having a gearbox failure is any. I guess you're not like acting recklessly, but I'm like, I don't know. You were still like, you still did what you did. Like, does the reason matter as much?
Maybe, but like in terms of like, it is more useful for the stewards if you're gonna have a hearing.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Gasly is going to walk into that hearing and go, I don't know, there's nothing you can do. I understand it.
Yeah. No, and I don't think it's bad for them. I don't think it's bad for them to consider like mitigating factors like that.
Yeah, and I mean, even if it's all it is a 5-place grid drop for Lawson going into Canada versus a 3, you know, okay, I get it. I get that choice. But the penalty and stuff, I don't care. If they give Charles a penalty
for what?
So he's being investigated for crashing into George on the final lap for hitting George.
Did he even hit George?
Yes, he did. He hits George's back left tire, because I think it's front right into.
Oh, come on.
We'll get to Aston in a minute. No, Charles should be, in a just world, Charles is P5. Max gets dumped off the penalty.
But that also just sucks for Max, because it's like, okay, he could have had the opportunity to make it up during the race, but now he just gets fucked.
Yeah, I mean, look, in fairness to him, like, Max was never running a contrary strategy. Like, he was like, this is the one time where like the outcome was always going to be the same. But yes,
no, it didn't end up mattering. But also, I feel like normally those things get settled during the race, and you should be consistent about when it's applied, because there are situations where it's advanced. There are situations both ways where you want it during the race, and there are situations where you want it after the race. So we just need to decide what way we're doing it and do it that way all the time.
I think the real answer is that the FIA does not, and they will never admit this, but I think the real answer is that the FIA clearly does not have the tech to the same level when they are in America.
No, you know what?
They're in Miami. Because it took them like 3 minutes to get a replay.
It's because it's a temporary track. It's because, but also I think this is the first season where they're doing MBS's new like rotating race director thing. So instead of there being like one race director, which to be fair, we've had some troubles with the position, but the only way, and people remember Charlie Whiting fondly, as they should, but it's not like he never made mistakes. You know what I mean? So, but the only.
But at least when it was Charlie Whiting, and I'm even going to say this about Michael Massey. Michael Massey at least had a fairly distinct and repetitive interest.
Right. When it's one person, they can be consistent. When it's a rotating group of people. And what's hilarious is the reason for this is because it's too much. It's just too much for one person, any one person to do. So it's totally fine for the 25 drivers and team, all the people that work for the team and all these people to run all these races. But for a guy who wants to sit in the air conditioning, it's just too much.
But yeah, no, it's like, I think it's combo of temporary circuit, FIA being cheap. I don't really know what. They did not have.
You know what? It's not them being cheap though, because you have to pay more people. You want to know what it is? I think being race director, that's another position within the FIA that has their own power center, right? Like people, and MBS has completely like reshaped the organization. And he's what Trump is attempting to do to our government, he has done to the FIA.
So, like, I think there were multiple moments where Crofty was like actively not sure what was on screen. Which again, I actually don't blame on Crofty.
No, to be fair, when he said Charles in the wall, there was no way that, like, I also thought Charles was in the wall in that moment, but it's not his fault. They kept fucking cutting away.
Right, exactly. Like, that's the thing. So the race direction was a fucking monstrosity. I only have to believe that's because it's a temporary circuit, whatever the fuck. But
you would think a temporary circuit would be better, though, because it's like Monza was built before without TV cameras in mind. You know what I mean? When you were designing this track 4 years ago, you didn't think about where you were going to put the fucking cameras?
Well, no, that would involve Stephen Ross and the I probably can't say that word on
no
on a TikTok live that own the Miami Dolphins. That would require them to have a brain. Look at the success of the Miami Dolphins, and you'll see why that's, as a New England Patriots fan, you'll know the Dolphins' lack of success very well.
Right. Remember when he was like, we make more money off of a GP sales than the GP than we do season ticket sales. I'm like, well, duh. Like that's I make more money from my 9 to 5 day job than I do scavenging change off the sidewalk. Like what?
Yes, but also have we contemplated that maybe you would make more money on ticket sales if your team was not?
No, but it's not even. That's what the funny part.
Booty cheeks every fucking year.
Well, that too, but that's the funny part is it's not even ticket sales. It's because you would definitely make more. You would definitely make more in ticket sales than you would in um like throughout the course of however many 7 home games that you have. It would it's what you call it season ticket, like the number of people that buy season tickets. That's like not that many people. Even at good teams. Never mind the Dolphins.
Well, no, you know, like in a like so annoying. Like, okay. Do we want to start with Ferrari? Because I'm actually going to defend the Ferrari strategy. Okay.
Okay. What was the advantage that was to be gained by doing that? I would love to know.
Track position. Well, one, if they don't fuck up the pit stop, it's track position on Jordan and track position.
He already had no, but he already had like that was not to be gained. You already had that. Yeah, you wanted to cover off George, but clearly, even if it would have been close, even without the bad pit stop, so it wasn't like that amazing of a window. You have nobody ahead of you. You can try to pull like more of a gap. I just don't like.
But here's the thing: he was having to defend against Piastri, so he wasn't able. Like, yes, he had quote unquote clean air, but he was having to defend, so he wasn't able to pump in great lap times. And here's the thing:
and their tires were like shambolic at that current moment in time.
But also with what we've seen with tire dag in this reg cycle, and even going back to last year, I don't think there was any reason to think that the tires are gonna. Like, this is the first time we've really seen tires like fall off a cliff at the end.
Yeah.
In a way that, like, because remember Australia when Ferrari doesn't pit at the safety car, right? And then they're like, "Ooh, the Mercs are on a 2-stop." No, the Mercs were not on a 2-stop.
Yeah.
The Mercs were we're going to run hard tires for 40 laps and still be faster than you.
I just don't feel like. First of all, it was that even again like there was a ton of traffic, like back markers and such, and it was tight with George. I just feel like I guess maybe like Charles was complaining about his tires. I see it. It wasn't the worst thing. I did have a little bit of a meltdown about it, but
I think you also have to understand the very basic point, which is that track position to a Mercedes seemed like it would be a fairly big deal, just because the Mercedes of the guy who is supposed to be the title favorite is currently in fraud mode. You know, like, I understand that you think that if a Mercedes gets in front of you, they're never coming. Like, you're never getting a chance to pass them. I understand that as a strategic decision-making call, right?
I guess, but that's also just like not really, even though Mercedes is faster, it's like Charles is clever enough with it to at least be able to like fight them a little bit. You want but I also see like their tires were falling off, like, but to me, it's just, I mean, and it ended up working out because the rain wasn't a big deal, but it's a pretty big risk for like a minimal reward that you didn't even get because you fucked up the pit stop.
Oh no, I'm okay.
Because if it had rained more, like they would have been totally screwed.
Yeah, and if my aunt had wheels, she'd be a bike.
Okay, let's not pretend that Ferrari's never gotten the fucking weather wrong.
Yeah, but let's not. But like on this one, I'm actually gonna like when Ferrari's weather report, McLaren's weather report, and Mercedes' weather report all said the same goddamn thing. I'm kind of not gonna shit on Ferrari for not understanding weather when they did actually understand weather for once.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, they got it right. Congrats. But I'm not saying I'm just saying it's like prudent. It's not an insignificant consideration that if we're wrong about the weather, we're going to be massively fucked.
Again, if they had decided to do this of their own volition, I would agree with you more.
It's true. I don't hate
covering off Mercedes,
Yes.
don't fuck this shit up. Like,
that's true. You know what? You're right. They actually, as soon as George pit, I knew there wasn't going to be rain. So,
right. Because I watched these races with a buddy of mine, and I was just like, I don't know about this. And then literally before I could finish saying that, the sentence, I'm like, well, Mercedes never fucks this shit up.
yeah, no, they're on it with the weather. No, because they have said they're the only ones that do it still. Like they send out people to stand at like different points around the track, which I'm Toto Wolf, if you can hear me, please. I'm dying for that job. I'd be so great at it with my little walkie-talkie. Like how fun would that be? But that seems smart to me because it's like the weather radar is like great, but when we're talking like this is satellites like and they need like meters, right? So
does somebody like was somebody like watching the PGA Tour event? Like did one team have like a TV there to, like see if it started raining at Doral to like cross reference against like no I think the thing with Ferrari is the McLaren upgrade worked this weekend at a track that the McLarens are always good at.
Yeah.
Right?
I think they're okay upgrade wise. I mean, it's not great, but the upgrades appear to have made their car better, not worse. So that's a dub.
Canada's a better Ferrari track
than
Miami. And then you get to Europe, you get to the European light where Ferrari, I think it's Canada and then Monaco, IIRC. And then Charles was like, I would make him the favorite to win Monaco right now.
He hasn't even sniffed pole this year.
Yeah, okay, but he would that's because the two tracks that Charles is like arguably best at weren't on the calendar yet.
Yeah, but no, I don't think. I mean, I hope. I mean, if anyone can pull off a miracle pole, it's Charles. But like to pencil that in is.
He was second in Monaco last year.
Which is crazy, but like, no, you're just trying to set high expectations so that he fails.
No, I actively want Charles to like go out in Q1 in Montreal and then DNF on the fourth lap because I want better betting odds on this for when we get to Monaco week.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, I always am like.
You accusing me of playing like dark magic for Charles. I love Charles. He's my second favorite driver.
Okay, that's fair. Also,
he's hot, and I'm a homosexual. I almost said something else, but again, I don't want to get your lines.
Please. Imagine I get banned for hate speech.
I'm sure there's some Peter Thiel, Larry Ellison algorithm that flags anybody who uses the.
I'll call Peter Thiel a fucking rat bitch. I do love that we have our own Peter Mandelson though. Like every country needs like an evil gay behind the scenes, just pulling the puppet master strings. Like it does. Like don't get me wrong, the existence of Peter Thiel. I'm like I don't want to live in the like AI religion like brain swarm thing that we're all going to be sucked into by Peter Thiel, but at least if everybody has to get if all of the fucking stupid assholes have to get like ruled by an AI god that's gay, that would be pretty funny.
Okay, let's be reasonable. Let's be rational.
Not my specialty.
Let's be good. Kimi Antonelli deserves his flowers. Pole position.
He is okay. I gotta do full mea culpa on Kimi. I was really mean to him, and I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me and our BG Dubs no, we're getting there. Okay, we're getting there. I'm a professional content creator. I'm building a rhythm and a cadence. Okay, let me have this. No, Anthony. Okay, so here's my one thing with Antonelli, and this is not to take away from him because literally all he has done is P2, P1, P1, P1. right? Like literally nothing else he could have done, right?
Right.
George Russell is being so bad right now.
Why does he suck like randomly?
I know, but here's the thing, right? Like I'm trying to figure out like just how impressive like.
No, he's still outclassing the McLarens.
He's doing the best he can. But I'm like very interested in how good or not good the McLaren is. And I'm realizing as I think about this, I don't actually have an answer right now because isn't Antonelli is like bossing this shit, you know, and George is just sucking. Or
I feel like they're just ahead of Ferrari.
Right. So it's like, okay, like I have no metric to judge Lando finishing like we'll say 2 seconds behind Antonelli because I think one of the seconds was because of a car issue. So it's like, is that like a super impressive performance from Lando? Like, is that like massively outdriving the car and Antonelli's like not doing that well, or did the McLaren like really step up to like equal to the Mercs at least for this weekend because Mercedes got that big upgrades package in Canada, and George just sucks. I don't know because George is just like being a dumbass.
Yeah, he is unfortunately flopping pretty hard at the current moment in time.
Here's the thing: this is worse than Lando's flop last year because the thing
way worse.
When Lando was flopping early last season, here's the thing, right? He outqualified Oscar in Japan in the third race of the year. He outqualified Lando in Miami. He outqualified Oscar in Miami despite the fact that Oscar then won. But that was because Lando fucked up the start. Like, and that's the other thing is because, you know, I think of the first, 2 races, I think one McLaren driver there was one McLaren driver who raced in the first 2 races of 4 available opportunities. So it's also like, you know, it's also one of these things where it's like, was the McLaren always like pretty actually fast and we just didn't notice because they barely got track time? You know?
Ooh. No, I need my small brush as well.
I
think McLaren.
He deserves a ton of flowers. But I would love a better sense. I hope Canada can be it, as it's becoming a bit of a George comfort track. I would love like a real ranking, a real rating of the cars in a way that gives us some more clarity and answers.
I feel like the order stayed the same this weekend. They all just kind of like bunched up with the upgrades, but I'm sure like with next weekend, it'll just be Mercedes back in the front.
Are you still coming to Canada?
No, we couldn't get tickets, but we're going to New York. Yeah, Connie's coming here.
Nice.
We're going to see The Great Gatsby on Broadway. I'm actually so excited.
Oh, that's awesome. Because I was just going to say, I realized that I had made no arrangements in the city of Montreal for that weekend, so I was going to be desperately trying to salvage something, but I think it was the Las Vegas Live where we planned this shit.
Yes. No, I really wanted to, and I keep saying I'm going to come to Canada. I still haven't been back, but we just couldn't get tickets, and then I was like, you know what? It's probably for the best that I have grand plans for my race travel next year, so let's put some money in the savings account.
What are you thinking of?
I really want to do spa, but camp, so it's going to be a production. I'm gonna have to rent a car and buy all the camping equipment and then donate it and all of that stuff. But I also maybe Monaco, maybe Brazil, either Monaco or Brazil, because those are the 2 left that are going to be the most expensive that I don't necessarily need to take a month off of my life to go to. Japan's definitely going to be the most expensive one that's and Singapore that are bucket list ones left, but they're so far away that it's just a little bit different level of commitment.
You need to do I'm trying to think given how much have you said what your line of work is publicly?
Nothing. Don't say anything.
Okay. Okay, then I'll save that thought. I'll save that thought for private.
Thank you.
There's a reason I asked.
I'm not even supposed to have a TikTok, so let's just keep it cute.
Oh my god.
Oh.
No, I mean, I just feel, I feel like if you're gonna do, I feel like when you do Japan, you really just ought to do, like, I know you hate Albert Park as like a concept, but like,
Well,
I feel like you just gotta, I just feel like you should just do Australia, Japan, China as a triad, get all of that out of the way while you're in.
Yeah, I mean, like, while I'm there, but I guess I just like don't really. Australia's so
Australia as a country.
Australia's so expensive, and like, I mean, obviously Japan is as well, but like, I just there's nothing in Australia that, like, no offense, like, it seems great. I love Australians, but there's nothing there where I'm like, I like really want to go like see or experience this because
You don't want to go to the Sydney Opera House? Wow.
it's just a bit. It's not like it's like Notre Dame, you know what I mean? Like, it's not gothic architecture. It's California.
You did once refer to it as upside down Colorado.
It is.
Because I think.
Oh no, we've lost you. Uluru? Is that somewhere in Australia? Let me Google. I don't know what is happening to you. But that's the thing. I don't know that much about it. There probably is. Oh wow, that does look really cool. Okay, that's fair. No, the outback is cool. The outback is cool. We have desert here too. You know, I just feel like Australia is very similar to America. You know what I mean? That is really cool. I'm gonna say that.
Okay, but then why do you like Canada?
Well, Canada isn't 24 hours away. If Australia was right there too, I'd pop over.
Make Australia Hawaii again?
Just scooch it a little bit. A little bit. No, it's nothing. Again, like, to entice me to travel that far away, it's pretty much only. Well, I do want to go to the Great Wall of China and the yassified Mao statue. I don't know where the yassified Mao statue is, but it's number one on my bucket list.
They need to move Singapore. They need to move Singapore to April. That's what they need to do, right?
Yeah. So if they're all in, but is it too wet during April? Maybe.
But isn't the whole thing that they moved Japan to April because it's less wet?
That's true, but Japan is a lot more north than Singapore is.
I'm aware, but like, come on.
I mean, I don't know how the fucking weather
What they
seasons.
actually need to do, and I know this sucks for you as the world's biggest Brazil should be the season ender person, is they need to move Bahrain and Jeddah to the end of the calendar and just do the full Middle East swing as a full Middle East swing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. I just, first of all, they like, it's kind of a baby there is no plane moment. Like, Jeddah's never happening again. The Strait of Hormuz remains closed. They don't have any money, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean, I just feel like, Liv was the cut. Liv was like the easy saving billions.
But they made that before the Strait. Which is so funny because, like, they spent all this money bribing Jared Kushner.
So here's okay. Look, we'll get back to why George Russell sucks. And Mary, can we talk like very briefly about Live Golf?
Sure.
And like the absolute funniest part of this, which is the Live stands on Twitter who are like, why wouldn't a guy who's made 3 times his PGA Tour winnings in 3 years, why wouldn't he have done this? And it's like, bro, because the money isn't everything. Like the Live stands are like legitimately shocked.
Well, okay, and also here's the thing. Money is everything, but these people are already rich. Like, that's the thing. It's the difference between having like $5 million and 15. If Saudi Arabia offered me $10 million, I'm taking it. Sorry, I don't even think women should have rights. But I'm not a millionaire.
$1 million on the PGA Tour.
Right.
Need another $92 million.
And I'm also not like, I don't have the capacity to like if I'm a professional golfer in that situation, I still can go keep making money on the PGA Tour. Like it'd be one thing. Like I get it, doing it for the money, I get. But these when you're not already rich, like these people are already like you you sold out.
I actually understand the like. I'm gonna name you a bunch of golfers. Tell me if you've ever heard of any of these people. Jason Kokrak, David Puig, Laurie Cantor.
No.
Ever heard of any of these people?
No.
Yeah, exactly. I understand why they left. Abraham Answer, right? I understand why they left for Live a lot more than I understand why Bryson DeChambeau and John Rahm, who have already made like multi-generational wealth.
Right. No, yeah, like for the randos, I like do get it and I support it a little bit more because I'm like, all right, well, if you like you were never getting this money from the PGA, right? I will say, depending on who they are, it's like you probably not saying everyone in professional golf, but it's not typically like a like you typically have you know you didn't come from nothing, let's put it that way. So
but even still, like I get why the guys who who like do not do very well, who won like 2 PGA Tour events and like were kind of struggling to keep their 2 cards because they weren't very good.
Right.
I get why those guys left, but like. I mean, I also understand why Dustin Johnson left. He has a coke addiction. He needs to tend to.
No, that's so true. That's so true.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
I was so worried about him because at first
the reason Ronaldo went to the Saudi League is very simple. He's not legally allowed to go to America.
Right.
And none of the top European teams wanted him anymore, so he needed to go to either Saudi or MLS. But the thing is, he can't legally go to America until Donald Trump, like, essentially, force pardons him. Has Trump done it already, or is he just going to do it before the World Cup?
I don't know. He hasn't done it. But it's also the thing is, it's a pre-pardon because he hasn't even he's been charged. He hasn't come done any of it. And the pre-pardon thing has never been tested. Only Joe Biden did that for Hunter, but then they never went through with it. So I
no. Like Fauci and all that got the preempt pardons.
Right, but no, they haven't tested it.
Yeah.
So we don't know what would happen if, and also it's a state charge. So Trump can't pardon you from a Nevada state charge. Rape is not a federal crime.
So clearly Portugal will not be playing any games at the Raiders Stadium then.
Right. But it depends on if your case is with the marshals then. So it's it's risky. If he comes to America, there's a chance they arrest him.
No, I think the thing is there isn't, and I think that Julian Infantino and the FIFA will, make sure to
for sure
clean that one up. But no, the thing about Ronaldo going is just he should have gone to MLS, and in a if he didn't have, and to be clear, I've never spent any time with the allegations. I have no idea.
But also, the thing is, the governor of Nevada is if the governor of Nevada and Mickey Sherrill make a deal to apprehend this guy, my point is a deal with the feds might not matter. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
No. Nevada's a Republican. Still Alberta.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Sisolak was the only incumbent governor to lose in 2022.
Rats.
A fact that just the level of insight you only get when you have a completely autistic politics nerd on your F1 lives. We should probably go to Franco Colapinto.
He is doing good. He had a bad year last year.
So here's the thing, right? Franco Colapinto proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that talent matters more than temporary form, because Franco just very obviously has shown that he is a talented driver. And last year, I made fun of you a little bit for the Franco optimism. And do I think he's better than Gasly? No, but I think that's not as embarrassing a statement as I think the average F1 fan thinks, right?
Yeah.
I think Gasly's really good, but the reason I like wasn't quite as mean about Franco as I like probably would be about Liam Lawson or Smith or whatever is like we know Franco's good, so what the hell was going on last year? And this year, quietly just put in good performances. You know, the Alpine's better this year, right? So it's easier to show that. But like, out qualifying Gasly, like, and I saw Gasly's, I think it was his first quality, or maybe it was his first brand, comment something on Instagram. It was like, it's really fun to see Alpine, especially these two drivers who I quite like both of them, being like, Gasly being like P10, shitty performance, like need to do better.
No, they're.
I'm like, oh, I like that. I like that you think that you deserve better. I like that you're still like that you're ambitious for more.
No, Alpine is like sneaky doing what Williams promised they would. I'm proud of them.
Oh yeah.
You know I root for Flavio, my man.
I still remember when I sent you a TikTok about like it was the number one songs on the day that the team principals were born. And and somebody was like trigger warning for both Christian Horner and Flavio Briatore.
Nothing.
And you got so mad.
Nothing pisses me off more when they're like, oh yeah, the evil people, Bernie, Helmut Marko, Christian Horner, and Flavio. I'm like, whoa. One of those people
has killed somebody.
Okay, well, no, but nobody knows about the car bomb. So what they're talking about is let's compare these crimes. Do you think it's worse to
Nobody cares about the car bomb.
No one knows about. I'm saying these people don't know about it. They're mad at.
You're wrong. I'm just saying that's a hilarious sentence to say out loud.
They're mad because. Wait, what's the Kimi titanium dioxide? But let's.
Titanium dioxide is banned across Europe, and Kimi sucked in the European league last year.
What is that though?
It's some chemical that's like banned in food and like in Europe, but not.
Oh, is that the poison we put in our food to make it good? Because let me tell you, my most firmly held opinion, the most American thing about me is I'm pro poison in the food. Everyone's like, oh, Europe's food is so much healthier. You lose so much weight when you go there. I'm like, yeah, I can tell. Their potato chips are crap. Where's the oil? I want this to be.
Have you ever had ketchup chips?
Yeah, they're fine, but I don't like them.
No, they're incredible. Now I want ketchup chips. Fuck this conversation.
Have you ever had McDonald's? I remember the first time I had McDonald's in Canada. I was like, what the fuck is this? Not good. They do not let you. You guys don't let us put the poison in the food either.
McDonald's in Canada is fucking incredible. Okay.
I mean,
do you know?
It's not the same.
Okay. 2 weeks from now is the PGA Championship. Do you know what I'm going to do Thursday morning and Friday morning of PGA Championship week?
Okay, wait. Sorry, 1 second, Chris. Back to just finish my Flavio rant for 1 second. Only Flavio's been convicted of crimes. Okay, but to be fair, the crimes he was convicted of were super funny. So there's that. He did maybe car bomb his boss. Okay, that was bad. But like when you're in the mob, can you even like? I don't want to victim blame here, but and it happens. It happens.
Yeah, I love you so much. You were the funny person.
And Bernie Sanders has endorsed Hitler. Hitler! Not even Kanye got away with that.
Not Bernie Sanders. Bernie Ecclestone.
Oh, fuck. Sorry to Bernie Sanders. No, you're right. I meant Bernie Ecclestone. That was really dumb. That was bad Freudian slip. He endorsed Hitler. He's Vladimir Putin's best friend. He's just he definitely participated in the Great British Train Robbery of 1960 something. I didn't even know about it until his book when he was like, "Oh, and by the way, I did not participate in that train robbery." Like nobody thought you did. And I didn't even know what that was, but now I think you did. Helmut Marko, again, openly racist. And I'm not going to stake my claim on Flavio as like a patron of progressivism, but at least he hasn't openly. You know what I mean? Like, at least he didn't compare Lewis to various animals. You know what I mean? So there's that. And who is the last one? Oh, Horner. Flavio has always dated women 25 plus. We love to see, and he's never texted his assistant that we know about his underwear because about her underwear. Although, if it came out, I wouldn't be shocked. But you know,
You just like chaos agents, and you and I both share, and like we both like when the legacy teams of F1. So
yeah,
Williams, Sauber before they got sold to Audi, and Renault Alpine. Like we like to see the sort of like the McLaren. So, like you don't like McLaren because you're a Ferrari fan, but like like the sport is better when McLaren's good. I'm really sorry.
I used to like McLaren before they turned orange, and therefore evil.
So can we talk about the fact? Was it Haas or Audi who was like straight up looking like the old McLaren this weekend?
Haas, and I kept my heart.
No, the old like what the hell was it?
I kept waiting for baby Lewis to pop out bald as hell.
No, was it Vodafone? Was that the
yeah?
McLaren? Yeah, no, the Vodafone McLarens of like the.
Oh, I would kill for one of those silver jackets.
Oh my god, you got to think like. Here, like I am not.
I have looked and looked. There's so many fake ones though that it's like there's not. And I found one time, but it was a men's extra large. So I was like,
okay. Well, I was gonna say, can I now fit into a men's extra large? Maybe.
I bought a Ferrari. It's actually really cool. It's like their 2017 like winter coat. But I was at an estate sale and it was like vacuum packed really small and it didn't have the size on it. It just had like the actual like Ferrari like label. So I was like, oh, like, and it was $20. So I was like, whatever. It is for a giant. I don't know who, it can't even be extra large. Like the person that this coat is designed for must be 10 feet tall. Like that, it goes to my feet.
Can I buy that off you?
You could have it if you want. You could have it for free. I'm not using it.
We'll discuss shipping that up to Canada. I'll cover shipping on it.
Unless I like need a sleeping bag for. I feel so bad for Isaac. It's just like it's such a silly mistake, but like those things happen. Like it's fine. He's doing well.
No. I didn't even want to get into that because
he's close to Max. He's fine.
The fact that he was in Q3 before the like whatever the hell
the penalty, yeah,
whatever the qualification was, like Isaac's doing fine. Like with rookies and specifically with rookies again, or in a second year, but like young drivers against top teammates, like.
And again, like it's so much.
They deserve every benefit of the doubt, and like every like, yes, he does take everything. But the thing about Hadjar is like we saw him shit the fucking bed. It was what Australia last year, first race of his career, doesn't even make it out of the formation lap. It was like in the points within like 2 or 3 races. Like Hadjar's got whatever that it is, whatever that je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
About a driver, Hadjar's got it. I'm almost not worried about him because it's like
no.
Oh wow, the second Red Bull being in Q3, and I'm not really like noticing that he's in Q3.
Yeah, well, not like
I've kind of stopped worrying about him.
He's like a couple tenths off Max, which is great, and like the overall speed matters so much more than like any little mistakes at this stage.
Oh yeah, I mean, you saw. Look, I'm a Dragosha fan, right? And like, if you want to go back to his first few years, was there plenty of fucking mistakes when he was in Williams? Absolutely. Was there also immense moments of raw pace? Yeah, and the moments of raw pace matter way more. And like, here's the thing: like, the Red Bull's not very good this year, right? Like, I think this is actually basically the best situation that Hadjar has ever. Like could have walked into because
yeah, Because they're not like suffering, but they're not like what like it's not like immediate championship battle like Max Verstappen crazy like.
Yeah, but here's the other thing, right? So I don't remember when this was, but I think it was Dan Valenti, the score, like the F1 data guy, the guy who, like, if you've ever seen like a stats thread, it's him. He added that, I think, by whatever like engine metric, engine performance metric they're using, the Red Bull engine is the second best engine, which means that the chassis is dog shit. But here's the thing. That means that if they can get their hands around development, that's, you know, if Red Bull can get their hands around development / can hire a competent staff of people to replace the Wheatleys and the Deweys and everything else that they've lost, like, because here's the thing, right? I think Aston might be fucked for the entire engine race.
Yeah, I agree. Well, no, because the engines are frozen. Like, they are fucked. They're done.
Right, exactly. Whereas, like, you know, Red Bull, like, if you have a good engine and a shit chassis, you can fix that. You can bring an aero package that's good, right?
No, it's like Ferrari also cooked.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing. Like, the engines are more important than the engines are far more important than the chassis, because, you know, the chassis can develop, right? You can fix this. We saw it with McLaren. Like, they were, I think they were fourth in the. No, were they fourth or fifth in the WCC in 2022? Because that was the year that was like Lando and then Danny Rick was nowhere, and then both of the Alpine were in the middle. I don't remember who ended up in fourth in the WCC. I think it was Alpine. But, like, you can fix.
Yeah.
If you have a good engine.
No, McLaren in the middle of 2024 just like figured it out. They just were like, oh.
You can fix an aero package that's not good enough. You can't fix an engine that's not good enough. And I think for Red Bull.
Well, because you can't fix it. It's frozen. So, like.
Exactly.
No, it is crazy, though. Like, everybody, it seems to be like rats fleeing a sinking ship at Red Bull, which is crazy because I'm like, it's not, like, performance-wise, at least, like, that bad.
Well, here's the thing. Clearly the engine, when they paid everybody, I mean, this is like the greatest Lawrence Stroll failure is,
no, the fact they just didn't check on the engine for like a year and a half. What?
No, but clearly Lawrence Stroll was just like, well, Honda built good engines for Red Bull.
But you knew that, like, Red Bull kept the facility and the staff. I knew that, so surely Lawrence Stroll had to know that.
Well, no, clearly he fucking didn't, because he's a dumbass.
That is so stupid. And the fucking who's the team principal that got fired?
Was that Andy Crack?
No, there was Mike Crack, and then there was Andy Cowell.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just getting, look, man, okay, there are too many failed. Do you know that, like, James Vowles is now, like, the third most long tenured like, team principal or some shit? It's like third or fourth.
Did he go there before what's his face? Before Andrea Stella?
Maybe. Oh, okay. They might be third and fourth then, but, like, Audi changed, Aston changed, Racing Bulls changed, Red Bull changed, Haas changed, because that's what the Gunter Steiner ousting.
Yeah.
Caddy doesn't count, obviously.
Yeah, they're new. Bonotto.
After the Audi change, I might have already included that.
Oh.
But, like, James Vowles is firmly in the top half of, like.
Well, it's been kind of a while. We're just like.
Team principal seniority.
I'm just old and refuse to acknowledge time passing.
But, like, James Vowles has only been there for like 3 fucking years.
Yeah, that's true.
This is his third.
But that's just because
fourth season.
Horner
is like fourth in seniority.
Horner was an extraordinary circumstance in that he managed to, like, his like bad behavior and like behind the scenes interpersonal drama caught like undo literally decades worth of work building this team in like a record time. So that was pretty impressive. But the so like that was like for because I feel like it's always kind of been like that. Like Ferrari every 3 or 4 years will be like, okay, the team principal is the problem now, and then every other year it's the drivers, and then
Oh yeah, Toto has like a decade on everybody
yeah,
else.
it was because it was Toto and Horner for a while, and then and what's crazy is that Ross Brawn is still alive. I'm like, girls, what are you doing? Come back.
I mean, honestly, okay, here's the thing. Flavio is like secretly in the top half if we include all of the time that he was very obviously making all of the decisions at Alpine.
Right.
That he was not technically team principal because the guy.
What's hilarious is that everyone's like, oh, how could they let him like come back? He's a cheater. Meanwhile, the other guy who he was banned with him for cheating, their technical director, has been in charge of the Formula One rules for like enforcing the technical rules for like 10 years, which kind of genius.
Also, the guy who had to be fired from Alpine to allow Flavio to come back as quote unquote interim team principal, which literally no one has been interim in a job longer than Flavio as team principal.
Well, I think that they would. I think that's just there. So it's like, okay, he'd be willing to hire like a more Andrea Stella type character and be like a CEO figure. Cause like I don't think Flavio is like as micromanaging on the technical side. Like he's definitely a Toto style.
But you remember who was team principal at Alpine before
the guy who went to prison.
Took the interim title, right?
The guy who went to prison, right?
No, the guy who had to flee in disgrace.
Oh yeah, his
making a deal with the fucking Mazepins.
Right, his brother went to prison. He's in Dubai. Yeah, because they were trying to do like a duffel bag full of cash exchange at fucking Silver.
Because I guess the Mazepins own, is it High Tech?
Yeah, the Mazepins owns High Tech, and then literally like 3 days before the Russia invaded Ukraine, he transferred it to Oaks for no money, just gave it to him for free, and then so they were trying, but like obviously this guy Oliver Oaks doesn't have any fucking money, so like he can't run this team. Like he's not a Russian oligarch, you know what I mean? So Mazepin was trying to get Mazepin the senior because both Mazepins were put under sanctions, and then
because Mazepin Senior was in the fucking room when Putin announced the fucking invasion.
Yeah. His company makes like fertilizers and explosives and shit. Like he's a Russian oligarch.
He runs the Uralkali, which is like the petrochemical company.
Yeah. And so the Mazepin the younger was sanctioned because he was like involved with his father's company through the racing team because they were paying for his bid in Formula One, basically. And so which is
why Kevin Magnussen had to be brought in like during Bahrain testing 22.
Right. And so they eventually appeal to the EU court to get the younger Mazepin unsanctioned because they're like, well, he's no longer like participating in this business. I'm like, yeah, because he got sanctioned. The reason he's not racing with Ukraine anymore is because the sanctions are working. So they somehow managed to get him unsanctioned because London wants to keep the oligarch money gravy train going. And
look, man, Chelsea Football Club could really love them to allow Abramovich to rebuy Chelsea. They would love that.
Fucking London grad over here. Not as bad as Germany, that fucking bitch Angela Merkel, but we won't get into it. They
and we can get into that anti-gay marriage fucking bitch
who cried when Obama. Like, there's no way Obama was mean to you. It's fucking Obama. Like, imagine. It's like that's like being like, oh, like I got beat up by Nancy Pelosi. Like what? So.
Okay, Okay. So you just don't believe victims when it's Joe Biden is the victim. Okay.
Joe Biden got beat up by Nancy Pelosi. Is there footage? Can I?
Politically.
Oh, well, my queen.
She fucking ended his career.
Well, he did it. I think plenty of that himself. But
True.
when Obama was like, "Hey, you know how we spend like hundreds of millions of dollars a year protecting you guys from Russia? Could you not build a pipeline?"
Hundreds of millions? Billions.
Billions. It is. Could you not build a pipeline to funnel tens of billions of euros directly into the fund that they will in 5 years use to invade Ukraine, the sovereign wealth fund? And then and also destroy all of your nuclear power factories, even though nuclear power is like but I won't do my nuclear power shtick. And then I'm not even joking, started crying.
I'm so glad that the world has progressed past the point of beating Angela Merkel.
That Onion article remains evergreen.
Oh.
Angela Merkel lucky from bar for her turn. Listen, she's not as bad as Trump, so we can't even talk shit right now. But you know what?
Oh my god!
At least she was sober. More than can be said about our government.
I mean, I don't know why you gotta be, why you gotta be alcoholic phobic.
I don't think the head of the FBI should be on crack.
But why shouldn't American governmental officials celebrate American success?
I don't care that he was chugging beers with. First of all, you're not a cabinet official. You're the director of the FBI. Like, that's why. Like, what are you talking about? But also, I don't care about that. I care that you're spending your weekends at the fucking Poodle Room in Las Vegas. If only because, like, you can't go to the Poodle Room. Like, the name. But also, you're the director of the FBI.
I mean, I just think that you're being racist against one of America's great success stories.
Oh my God, I will say.
Why do you not want Indian Americans to succeed?
No, it is kind of the American dream. Like, you move here, you work hard so that your flop son can get promoted beyond where he belongs and like end up in a situation where he's way out of his depth and make himself look like an idiot. Like, that is kind of beautiful. It is. However, again, like, it's just that the FBI is like kind of a serious job. I will say, you know what? I want to make Curtis Sliwa like SNL mayor. I want to make him. We need to build him like a fake mayor's office next to the real mayor's office where he just pretends to be the mayor all day, and we film that.
Yeah, no, this is the thing. Is that like there are a million ceremonial jobs you could actually give people, like
he should be New York's royal family. Him and his wife and their 19 cats.
Give him a constitution. Make New York constitutional monarchy, and make him king.
And it'll only last till he dies because he doesn't have any kids. So
right, exactly.
It'll be perfect. Well, no, then it can pass on to the cats.
Can we? Okay. So, what do we actually think about George Russell? We should really talk about it in this live. Do we think he's just going to rock up to Montreal with a Mercedes upgrade package that's better for him?
I don't.
Things just going to kind of work.
I don't know, and I mean, we'll see. It could be because this is kind of the thing, maybe, but also we're in a little bit of a danger zone because these things can sort of spiral. That's why I feel like it's impressive by Franco to come back this year and just be quietly solid, putting in some good performances, because it can be hard once you're sort of downbeat psychologically to get back to where you need to be. But I don't know. I feel like George this isn't his first rodeo, so I'm not too worried about him, but at the same time, I'm ooh, we're getting to the point where
I think Montreal is a pretty big test because of the combo of the new upgrades package and the fact that this is a track that he's had pull on 2 straight years. He won last year. Like, if Montreal can't fix George's problems, then I think that's when I go into like
Full panic mode.
Like 60% panic.
No, he's not a fraud yet. We're just on watch. We're watching.
Right. And to be clear, like this is a bad performance. Like I am not here to say this is a good performance, but like there have also been, didn't Nico Rosberg win like I don't remember this. He won the final 3 races in 2014, and then he won the first 4 races in 2015. Like,
yeah,
there have been these runs of sort of like teammate dominance that have ended.
Yeah, but George was Lewis was like P2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm not defending this run. This run of form has been absolute crap. But like, I don't think Toto cares. Is the real answer? I think Toto wants a Mercedes champion.
Yeah.
More than he cares which of the Mercedes champions. And I think specifically with Kimi and George, they're both like homegrown Mercedes champions.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I don't think they care.
I will say,
I think Toto will from like a personal standpoint, I think Toto likes both Kimi and George the same amount. I think he
manages both of them. Like it's
like he views them both as sort of like prodigal children. And I think from a like Mercedes corporate standpoint, it again doesn't really matter if it's Kimi or George because like both of them are homegrown Mercedes Academy talents.
Yeah. I mean, I would think if I'm Toto Wolff and I'm thinking like the only difference it could possibly make to me is that that Kimi is going to go to Ferrari at some point. Like, that you're not going to be able to keep him like long term like a Lewis because I mean, yeah, Lewis went to Ferrari, but like Kimi is going to like no, I mean, obviously that's always a risk for any champion, right? But I feel like Kimi being Italian specifically, it's like that's going to be hard to say no to. But then again, maybe he's smarter than that because he is Italian and he's been paying attention. But I don't know.
But I think from a Toto standpoint, like he wants the championship, and I do genuinely think he doesn't care.
No, I don't think he has a preference.
Wins.
I don't think he is.
I think Toto I think wants Max in the sense that he thinks that Max gave him the best chance of a championship. But like you have to remember that the academies are what these teams are actually investing a lot of money in first, right?
Yeah.
And like
and it helps them recruit. If they're like succeeding with their own academy drivers, they can be like, look, like we're gonna like prioritize giving our own people a seat. Like you're gonna actually get a real shot. Like
and I think and so that's why I think that both Kimi and George are like perfectly good sales pitches.
Right.
Well, okay. Fernando just asked this, and I've asked CJ this. I think on live before, but like, let's say Lewis retires this year or next year, whatever. Like, and they ask, like, they have their sort of choice of drivers. Do they take?
Oh, now it's Kimi. Now it's Kimi, no problem, because.
Yes.
Because
he has proven to be
right
at a level.
And it's not Ollie's fault. Like, he's not in a car that can win races. But, like, once you've proven that you can win races, like, that ticks a box. You know what I mean? And it's not a knock on Ollie because it's not he's been in a Haas. You know what I mean? He's done everything that he can do. He's been very impressive. But Kimi's a little bit more of, like, a shirt. I mean, it's only been 4 races. Let's see. But, like, especially if he, like, wins this year, then I feel like it's not going to be a.
Max isn't the perfect ambassador for like Mercedes, the car brand, because here's the thing: Max doesn't want to do the promo shit.
Right.
Max doesn't want to do sponsor days.
Also, like, let's be honest, George aesthetically fits much better in a Mercedes commercial than Max Verstappen does. Not that I think that that's a primary consideration when they're signing drivers, but I also think that whole saga from Max was purely to lean on Red Bull to get rid of Horner. And it was purely Toto trying to take a dig at Lewis after Lewis left for Ferrari. Not to say that, like, if Max really did decide he wanted to go to Mercedes, that Toto wouldn't consider it. I think he definitely would, and maybe even fire George or Kimi or whoever. But I think a lot more of that was, like, motivated like, I think it wasn't quite as real as people thought it was. That being said, like, I do think that there was a possibility that if Red Bull hadn't capitulated in that moment, that Max would have been like, "Fuck it, fuck you, I'm going to Mercedes now." But where we are currently, I feel like it's way more likely that Max will just retire and go do another series than go to another team.
Yeah, and I think, and look, like I think Red Bull are not far enough off that Max actually considers retirement, right? Like I think that if Max had true, like, I think if Red Bull had been a true disaster this year, like I somewhere there's a sticky idea where I ranked who I thought the top teams would be, like in order, which had Aston as the third best team this year.
Yeah. Wait, but also sorry, medium rare. Would Max even be willing to race in like Mercedes like cars in all of the like to change all of the shit that he's built his own team around? Because like Mercedes isn't gonna they're gonna you can't they're not gonna go let you like drive a Ford, you know what I mean, or whatever, like
Yeah, exactly.
other things. Like Max has a sweetheart deal from Red Bull. They let him do whatever they want because Red Bull's not a car company. They're not here to sell cars.
And so when he wants to go race in a Mercedes, G2, whatever the fuck, at the Nürburgring, Red Bull's going to let him do that.
Right.
Him race in the Indy 500.
Oh, he's already racing Mercedes. So maybe he would because but that being said, it does give him like
That's a specific situation. They're not gonna like unless Mercedes wants to get into IndyCar and they want to, race a Mercedes branded car in the Indy 500. Like, look, I just think at the end of the day, the Mercedes has a very specific driver program strategy where they pick a limited number of people and focus all their resources on them.
yeah.
You need to show that those drivers have the ability to win a championship going under you to keep the top, the creme de la creme picking Mercedes, right? Kimmy picked Mercedes, George picked Mercedes.
I also just think it's very funny because it's like, don't get me wrong, like I know that Max was in the Mercedes driver program and like I'm sure Toto has regrets about like not signing him or whatever. But like, first of all, the implication was so weird when Toto would opine about this because he was like, "Oh, like maybe we should have gotten rid of like Lewis earlier." But the timing of it, because he's like, "But we were so happy with Lewis and Valtteri." I was like, no, but the timing of that was you just would have fired Nico Rosberg. Like you're acting like it was Max or Lewis. Like
it was never. Yes, but here's the thing: Mercedes is a German brand, and so he could have never fired Nico Rosberg.
well, right, and but I'm like, don't be wrong. I'm sure there is on some.
That's the real thing. Daniel Kvyat fucked all of Toto's plans. Okay. Because if Kvyat had stayed good enough to keep that Red Bull seat through all of 2016, then when Nico retires, Toto probably swoops in and steals Max, right?
Yeah.
Steals Max back. But the problem was Kvyat was such a fucking mess.
Yeah.
That he had already taken the Red Bull seat beside Danny Rick. At which point, Max literally was probably legally compelled
right.
to not take the Mercedes seat in 2017 that ends up going to Valtteri. Whereas Valtteri was able to take that seat because Williams at the time was, I don't know if Toto still owned like part of Williams or just generally like Williams was such a, cuck chair that they were able to take the seat from him.
But the thing is, like, my whole thing about this situation is like, don't get me.
Okay, no.
I'm sure he would love to have Max, but my point. Let me make my point. I've been trying to make it this whole time. We haven't heard. We did not hear. This is Toto's greatest regret. He's talking about it in every press conference. Toto Wolff has gone through like 3 driver signings since then. We've never heard a word about Max Verstappen. It was not until his greatest rival cucked you that you were like, oh, like Max Verstappen, the man of my dreams. I'm like, all right, bro.
Sorry, here's the problem. I have heard you make that point before, but I think that's just what we have called privately. So sorry about that. No. Okay, here's the thing. Max might be the biggest driver. Max is not the biggest celebrity in F1 though. Like, here's the thing, right? Like, Charles is a far bigger celebrity than Max Verstappen.
Yeah, and like think about like everyone who's watching GT3 already knows what Mercedes is. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Like the other racing series argument doesn't actually matter to Mercedes as like a
company
consumer car brand, right?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Spoiler alert. Spoiler, right? The only people there are two racing series that matter to North American car buyers, and it's really one, which is to say NASCAR, and then arguably Charles. Okay, Chris, I would argue that Charles has elevated out of F1 celebrity into like actual celebrity, but that's because he is incredibly hot and is dating a model or what?
No, it's because
did they get married?
Yeah, it's because Charles.
A model who is also incredibly hot.
Charles hasn't quite gotten to Lewis's level yet because he has not had the success, but they both benefit from by like trying to get into mainstream celebrity from the fact that like they are model beautiful, not hot, not good looking, not attractive, beautiful, like editorially like
Lewis is obviously above Charles, but like I've had people who don't know anything about F1 bring up Charles Leclerc to me in a way that like
but
they don't with Max, they don't with George.
Both of them have gotten like magazine covers that they have absolutely no business getting from like their fame and or like pure modeling portfolio, but the combination of both in that like God love him. I love Sebastian Vettel and I find him more like I'd rather fuck him than either of those two beautiful people. But
I'm sorry. You would rather fuck Sebastian Vettel than Lewis Hamilton?
You want me to get naked in front of Lewis Hamilton? Are you fucking crazy? Are you insane?
Okay.
Lewis Hamilton fucked Rihanna. Sometimes you gotta know your place in this world. He's too hot. He's simply too hot. I would be too nervous. I would pass out. It would be really embarrassing. But
who is the hottest F1 driver you would get nervous around?
I mean, I would get nervous around Seb too because it's Seb, but that's just, I guess, it like if I met. Ah! Oh my god, this is so annoying. Current grid. 1 second, let me pick you up. Oh, my wire caught on this stupid stove. Hottest one I wouldn't get nervous around. I guess like if I met.
Would you get nervous around Gasly?
No, he's ugly. I wouldn't. I guess Franco, because Franco's super hot, but in like that's a guy you'd see out. You know what I mean? Like he's.
Well, I guess we should preface this with you pledged to sorority.
Yeah.
And not insignificant.
It was a different. It's like the North though. It's a different vibe, but yeah. No, I spent a lot of time in the NYC club scene, so I've met many Francos.
Okay, I was trying to be vague. Okay?
Oh.
I want vagueness about your life because I was going to make it.
Thank you. You're right. I did kind of just dox myself, but everyone forget you heard that.
So, like, I'm trying to think of like who is like the hottest F1 driver who plausibly who could have pledged a frat either at the school you went to or like at adjacent to the school you went to.
I feel like Franco, he gives like rich international student. He's so hot. But like he still looks like.
Doesn't Gasly give rich Parisian Columbia?
Yeah, I mean you could find him at any gas station in America.
Jesus Christ. Okay. I don't understand your hostility.
No, he's just a guy. He's a good-looking guy, but he's just a guy. Like Charles and Lewis look like they were statues that were brought to life through some kind of.
Charles and Lewis are just like completely a different level. I think George is hot, but like even I'm like no, those two are like like George is like very obviously like fighting for third.
George is like he's hot in a very specific Etonian way. He was bred to wear that. You know what I mean?
I hate the fact that George is the one who's gotten like clasped with like the like Tory vibe because like actually
it's because he wears cream suits.
Yeah, but Lando is like very obviously more Tory.
No, but Lando's not. He doesn't have the. He's not posh. Because he's like new. Like he wears skinny jeans and vapes, and I say that with a vape in my hand. But like he's he doesn't give like, and I don't know what any of their like actual class situation, like who their fucking grandparents were fucking, but
George is very obviously a Lib Dem, and Lando is very obviously a Tory. Like, it's so funny to me because this is like, it's people who don't understand British politics versus me who has watched like every interview every British politician has given since like 2013.
He does kind of look like he is kind of hot in a Hugh Grant way. Like he doesn't look like him, but like I see that.
No, because the thing about George is that like I
think George is cute.
The muscles are all there. It's all kind of good to fine. I feel like George is like very much like did the muscles to like get the girls, but like it very much depends on whether or not he's actually in the mood to be like a playboy. And Carmen is like the only person. Like I don't want to say the only person because I absolutely fuck George, but like he has found the person who finds his idiosyncrasies appealing. You know.
No, I don't know. He dresses well. Ever since the hair was huge. Wherever he did that thing where he turned 26 and got hot.
For the hair, thank you.
But it also was like men pre-25 are just not that. It's not it. You gotta wait, and then they get like Max Verstappen won a world championship and came back and was like 40% hotter. I was like, whoa, that's weird. He was like a child and he came back and he was an adult. I was like, this is weird.
Lando is the only one where I disagree because I generally agree with you. Like, I think Gasly now is like way hotter than Gasly 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, he had a glow up.
Abs were like more defined 5 years ago because it was just easier to have abs at like 22 than it.
Well, it's also because they're small. They haven't like bulked up as much, you know.
Right, exactly. Like, yeah, the abs were better at 22 for Gasly or 24, whatever the hell age. But like, Gasly is hotter now than he was then. But like, Lando's the one where it's like, okay, you make sense as a twink, even though you're not a homosexual, but you know, like.
We don't know that.
Okay, here's the thing. George is very obviously a Remainer. So, like, he might have been, he probably loved David Cameron, but he was a child when David Cameron was, Prime Minister. But, like, look, did George Russell love David Cameron? Yeah, obviously. However,
hey, David Cameron legalized gay marriage.
Okay, will you have the time for me to do my 30-minute presentation?
You love.
The tweets that go around all the time, like, what could you give a 30-minute TED Talk about with, like, no prep?
David Cameron.
Is why David Cameron is the best British Prime Minister since the 1970s. Well, okay, no, there's like, that, and then why Justin Trudeau needs to, like, KYS, but, like, I can't do that on TikTok.
How mad are you that he's been, like, reinvented as Katy Perry's boyfriend?
Here's the thing. I'm actually quite great. So I assume you've read all the reporting about how Joe Biden, like, kind of, like, low-key fucked over Kamala Harris's re-elect.
Yeah. I would argue that she was fucked from the start, but continue. But
him calling her on the night of her debate being like, you can't separate from me at all, and, like,
yeah,
there will be consequences, certainly didn't fucking help. Right?
No.
One thing I'll say about this, as somebody who spent a year of my life trying to drive that motherfucker out of the Prime Ministership of Canada, he never did that. He never did that to Karnik. He sat down, shut the fuck up, and let that man get rid of the, like, signature accomplishments of his government and never leaked a fucking thing. didn't leak a negative quote from sources close to the former prime minister.
Yeah.
That man let Mark Carney dismantle parts of his legacy and didn't say a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
You know what? If Katy Perry's bleep is what you get from that, go right the fuck ahead. Because you saved us from a conservative government. So thank you very much, good sir.
And
fuck you.
Spiritually, he belonged at Coachella, not the Canadian White House. You know what I mean? Like, that's where he looks happier.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Can we talk about the fact that the Canadian White House is still filled with asbestos?
You guys still haven't fixed it?
No, but apparently Carney wants to fix it for the next people, which is nice.
Yeah.
He said that. So
Chris, agree. You can't get bamboozled by Dick Cheney and Vladimir Putin. That's just embarrassing.
So here's the thing: Britain has had two good prime ministers since like 1974, and one of them did war crimes in Iraq, and one of them did Brexit. And it really comes down to whether or not you care more about the dead Iraqis or more than you care.
Well, here's my thing. It's not that I don't.
Only two that are like that get a passing grade.
Here's the thing. It's not that I don't care about the dead Iraqis. I do tremendously, but Halliburton was getting those wells with or without Tony Blair. Like, you can blame him.
You want to make that case? Perfectly fine.
You can, but he's still a fucking idiot for doing it and going along with it. And British.
It's Blair and it's Cameron, and literally, if you name me another soul.
Well, to be fair, Gordon Brown did stop Tony Blair from joining the oldest and most powerful currency in the world with Italy's. So there's that. That's a pretty good move by him.
Yeah, except Gordon Brown was also the chancellor who spent billions of dollars because he declared that Britain had abolished boom and bust before running a deficit of 11% of GDP.
He didn't write those mortgages.
No, but he did write the financial deregulation of the British bank system that required them to own like 30% of OBS and Lloyd's.
Oops. Which, to be fair, helped them not have to bail out as much as we did.
Oh no, you only fucked up 40% as much as George Bush. Oh, what the
Hey! Win is a win, baby. Wait, the Argentinian White House is pink? That's so fun. Wait, I want to Google that. Argentina. The Florida State House looks like a dick. It's quite funny. There was supposed to be a fountain on top too, and they didn't. Oh my god, it's also like so much nicer than ours.
In fairness, I have a great.
Yeah,
Jeremy Corbyn was also like a rank anti-Semite, so like let's not praise him too much.
Everybody loves him. I'm like, you hate crimed 24 different Jewish people in Parliament, which is impressive that you were even able to find that many. Like, were you just going around to every one? Like, 24 is so many. Also, isn't he being funded by Russia? Didn't he go to court for that?
So him and the Stop the War Coalition were both funded by the Russians, but like, he supported Stop the War. Stop the War was funded by the Russians, but like, Corbyn has never taken Russian money.
There's just mutual interest.
Yes. Oh, look, I have plenty of negative opinions about Corbyn, but I'm gonna be.
I don't have any strong. I don't really know. I just know that there was some ethics.
Basically, every interview every British politician has given in Britain since 2013. So like,
I haven't gotten past. I'm still in the 80s, so I'll catch up eventually. But
you and I should watch the 1997 British election coverage from the BBC on YouTube together.
No, we gotta watch 92. 92 is the one where Alistair Campbell pulls his master class.
I mean, 92 is hilarious because it's Labour thinks they're gonna win, and then they just have like a meltdown live on TV, and Blair shows up at like 4 a.m. being like, "This is why our party."
Because they were planning a coup. They were planning a coup, and when Gordon Brown wouldn't do it, he started planning his own. And then Tony Blair, like, it's so funny. He like half admits to this in his book. He was like, "I was making preparations for a leadership challenge, but not because I was going to stage a coup, because I had a premonition that John Smith was going to die."
No, the funny thing is
You're going with "I'm psychic."
what actually happened, which is Blair took the soundings on whether or not he could win. He realized John Smith would win. He was like, okay, well, I'm obviously not going to take the L. You know, we're obviously not going to take the L of running against John Smith.
Yeah.
And then Blair was just like, oh, great, all that organizing I did in 92 ends up being useful 2 years later.
See, I think, but it's if you read because Alistair Campbell starts his diaries very cheekily on the day that John Smith died. And I'm like, no, I want the 2 years before that, you bitch. But
you know what you should do? You should go to like Silverstone 2028 because your 2027 is already booked. And you should find Alistair Campbell and harangue a recording of the rest is politics until you get your answer.
I will say, ordinarily I'd be like, that's crazy person behavior, but this is the same man who like hid inside a trash can to like pop out at Marina Navratilova and ask if she was a lesbian. So I actually don't feel bad at all doing that to him. However, why would he be at Silver? Is he an F1 fan? I have no idea.
No, but just like go to Silverstone and then like go to London and harangue him about like I assume the recording studio for the rest of the politics.
Oh, you're just
that hard to figure out.
I mean, yeah, it's probably.
No, come on now, CJ. You're not invested in the bit.
I didn't think about that. I think they record out of their houses, so I'd have to show them to his house.
This explains a lot. I don't watch the rest of the politics except for the clips. Do they not record in person?
I mean, they do sometimes.
The fact that people have managed to get Ed Balls and George Osborne on a podcast together.
The dueling, not the dueling, like former like Shadow Master and random Tory that they sort of.
You go watch like any compilation of like the best of David Cameron at PMQs. It's just Cameron absolutely shitting on Ed Balls when he was Shadow Chancellor and George Osborne was Chancellor. And then the two of them are just like, actually, you know what? We're just going to like start a podcast together.
The Rory Stewart of it all. The Rory Stewart of it all is incredibly funny because I'm like, where is Alistair Campbell finding them? He another variant. Like, where is he finding these schoolboys? Like, do they just sort of appear to him across the misty moors of Scotland? Like, where the way he found like Tory Tony Blair is like kind of crazy to me.
I mean, it's great. You know what else is great?
He clearly has a type. What else is great?
You know what else is great?
What?
The fact that Frank Albinda is PA in the GP.
I am very proud of Franco. Rory Stewart, listen, Rory Stewart, have you ever hated someone so much you want to fuck them? That's how I feel about Rory Stewart. He's married though, so it's not that I don't think I can shoot my shot, but
we don't have any news on any of the post-race investigations. I will say
none still.
I look. Chris Medland is generally very
good. They're usually pretty on it.
So he has not tweeted anything in an hour. So I just left and checked.
Oh, Nico. Oh no, that's Jensen. Sorry.
Whoa. What did Nico do?
Nothing. He was just. I thought he was going to be on the coverage because there was a man in white pants, but it was Jensen.
No. Okay. Can I just say I didn't watch like a lot of the coverage this weekend. Jensen, far better mood now that he has to deal with. Was it Natalie? No, it wasn't Natalie.
I saw some criticisms of him dick riding Lando, and just you gotta let him have it.
Who's the no? Who's the? I'm sorry. There's no way I can ask this question.
Ferrari News tweeted this team is a social experiment to build mental resilience. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Natalie Pinkham. Who's the black one? Who's the black
Naomi.
one? Sketchbook?
Naomi.
Yeah, no. He seems much happier dealing with Naomi.
Yeah, because she's not. I love Naomi. I think she's great. She's not as, to be fair, Natalie's been doing the interviews for like 20 years. She's amazing at it. And she has like such a rapport with these people. And in the most, this, the Britishness of it all actually like suits. She can ask like tough questions in a way that doesn't come across as like mean or attack or doesn't elicit a defensive reaction from them. I think she's the best at that. But Naomi is one of my faves, like in terms of like panel members who like when they're there, I'm like, you're a net ad. She is like maybe the only one who isn't who's like newer. She's not new, she's been around for a while, but newer that I'm like
the only non-X one driver.
no, because I like Ted and Brundle and them, but well, Ted Brundle's.
Okay, Ted doesn't count. Ted's a fucking institution. At
Yeah.
this point. Like non-Ted division, the only non-F1 driver who like I actually listen to.
Agree.
Naomi's great. I forgot her name because I am drunk as hell. Okay, like.
Also,
this is not me attempting. This is not me doing races. Again, this is me being drunk and forgetting people's names.
Bernie is also good. She's also good. She's just a little new for me. To really fully.
Can I be real?
Yeah.
This is a safe space. Bernie got us during qualifying of the race.
Yeah.
I have not found her great in pre or post race coverage yet.
That's true. She is like kind of awkward, but I also feel like live TV like that is a little. She'll get more comfortable with it. She was. I mean, this is someone who has a mechanical engineering degree. We gotta give her some time to warm up.
I'm perfectly happy for her to have a lot more time in the gig, but like, and again during the race, during qualifying, but like she serves a very niche role during qualifying in the race.
Yeah.
And I think like she just needs a little bit more work at sort of like transitioning to like how to do like pre and post race.
Yeah, I also don't.
In terms of doing like during the race stuff of like tire management, who's doing one stop versus who's doing a two stop, who's still got two tires during qualifying versus one tire during qualifying. She's incredible for that, and I honestly like if you wanted to make her a like literally every week broadcast assistant for that shit.
I agree. She's a great third man. I love her as the third man. I think she's perfect for that. Like I will say, it's a.
She just needs a little bit of like she just needs more reps in the pre and post race.
And I think she should. They should have her shadow Ted while he's there because like the brilliance of Ted is that because he's Ted, they all let him like go into their garage and like chit chat with the mechanics and like chit chat. So like he's like, oh, like the McLaren guys are saying, like he adds a lot of like interest in that way. Whereas like he does like I do like they both serve very different purposes to me. So I don't like that it's like either or. But I think she's a great. I also wish they did once last year in a pre race. They did like she had her own like little segment where she was like, okay, like this is like what we think the primary strategy is going to be, but like if they degrade a little faster, it could be like her own little like this is what we're thinking for and what people are thinking for the strategy. And I almost liked that a lot more than her on like the general panel, if that makes sense. And I think it just like suits her kind of like a sky pad almost role. Obviously not the literal sky pad, but like it just I think it suits her strengths a little bit more.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I greatly appreciate is that they are willing to move people around in ways to find how you are most valuable, right? Like the concept of like the creation of the SkyPad is literally just we had Anthony Davidson and Corey Chandok, who are like not very good on panels, but are better at breaking down the race stuff. Like they just essentially created a new role in the weekend for those two to like be there more often.
Yeah.
Right? And like they essentially created a new role for Bernie, quote unquote, on the pit wall, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, well, like you literally, like if you go back and watch like 2015, 16, 17, 18, there was no, like Bernie didn't take somebody else's job.
No.
Right? She just like kind of existed, you know? Like,
yeah. No, they do a good.
To be honest, that is absolutely a compliment to Sky. They were just like, yeah, okay, cool. We're just gonna like, you know, like we're just gonna build this shit because like we have this talent and you're just gonna deal with it, you know?
Yeah, they are. No, they don't try to fit a round peg in a square hole. Like they do a good job of playing to their strengths, which is nice to see, honestly. But no, I really like her. No, I think the broadcast has like I will give Sky some credit, like improved greatly over like in the time since I've started watching F1 again. I am just really like I'm pre-scared to not have Crofty anymore. It's one thing like it seems pretty clear to me that they're gonna do some sort of Nico Jensen combination for Brundle, which will and like I will miss Brundle as well, but like there's a viable replacement there, and like that Harry guy's fine. But it's just Crofty to me, and I know that this is a controversial opinion. There are the Crofty haters out there. But like to me, F1 just isn't the same without him. Like it is like so.
I will say Harry Benjamin a lot better by the end of last year than he was in the beginning of 2024 when the first time we saw him.
For sure. And your point about like him not getting to go with Brundle is
okay. The best race he has ever commentated was Austria 2024. Which the Lando Max crash that leads to George winning the race, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not. Look, I don't think Gary Benjamin is great. I don't think he should be the permanent Crofty replacement by any means. I think Sky will probably offer Alex Jacques a billion. We'll offer him a shit ton of money. But like the one race where he was at his best was, Matt. Like, because I've got Matt, because I go back and rewatch the races, like a good race of that year before every race week.
Yeah.
He was great that year when when Max and Lando were fighting and then George wins the race. He was great because he had fucking Brundle beside him.
Yeah, to sort of
to play off of, and if you're just going to give him Karoon every week, that he, every week that he shows up, right?
Yeah,
you're just not doing the audience a fucking service.
Yeah, I wish my main criticism is more Nico.
Okay, but here's the thing, like. Do you think that that's a Sky Sports problem, or do you think that's a Nico Rosberg problem?
Sky, because he's there every fucking weekend doing random shit with Barilla and like all this other random crap. Get him on the broadcast, and he's popping in.
They are offering him enough money to go on the broadcast.
Nico, you don't need money. Like, is he really? Is this about a paycheck? Like, come on.
It's like, oh look, man, if the stewards actually decided that Charles was at blame for the final lap of the race, like I'm really sorry. F1 stewarding has like gone awry if Charles Leclerc is at fault.
Well, and also my thing is like, okay, if Charles is at fault for that, like, then why didn't Max get a penalty for spinning earlier just because he happened to avoid Charles? Like, you know what I mean? If being out of control in general is a penalty, like, I don't know. Because usually when it's like, oh, you're out of control, it's like when you go for a lunge and you lose control, like, as the result of that overtake, right?
I just think, like, okay, I think in terms of, like, the events of the last lap of the race, like, if they decide that Max didn't do anything wrong on, like, if they decide that Max didn't do anything wrong in, with crossing the pit line, then 456 should be George Max Charles. If they decide that Max did do something wrong crossing the pit line, then it should be George Charles Max. But like the idea that Charles gained an unfair advantage,
Right.
in a lap where he lost like something like 17 fucking seconds.
He gained an unfair advantage by hitting the wall. It's a new strategy we're trying out.
Look at how much ground George gained. It was something like 12, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
That George gained on Charles in that last lap. Okay. Thank you, Fernando, for saying that we should do a podcast. I would fucking love to do that, but CJ, doesn't think that I'm worth it.
I am not. What are you talking about? We just did a podcast together before the year.
Yeah, no, but Fernando thinks that we should do a weekly podcast.
We definitely should. If you edit it, I'm down.
I'm happy to do it.
Because the reason it took me so long to upload our last one is because I had to delete like everything. I had uploaded all of my like pictures from Italy to my computer, but not to the drive. So I had to upload all of them to the drive, and I had to delete 2 sim save files to get it to export.
Okay, so look. When we get to the European section of the season, like we absolutely can do it more frequently. I will just say, like in like I'm doing a weekly, in air quotes, podcast about hockey with the son of the Canadian cabinet minister. So, like, trust me, if we want to do like a podcast, there's absolutely something we can do. I know how to do it. I know how to get it done properly. Like,
I'm always down.
Again,
my filming area will be done soon. I'm working on my shelf.
Yeah. No, we gotta figure, because seriously, with the pods that you have done, we gotta get you. Here's the thing, we gotta get you
less ugly.
We gotta get you to figure out your fucking Zoom situation so that we can just use your Zoom to record my audio, because that will be the way to do it.
Yeah.
You're just a hater, and you hate me, and you think that you're just like a homophobic piece of shit who hates any, strong, independent gay man,
Why? Because I won't record my Zoom? I'm logged out, and I'm actually paying $40 a month right now for something I can't log into, so that's fun. But, Okay,
well, have you considered figuring that the fuck out?
Yes, because I've missed like 3 polling calls because of it, and I keep being like, sorry, like I'll get on the next one, like my Zoom is messed up, and I just like can't keep doing that because it's not gonna keep working. So I'll get around to it, I promise. But yes, no, I'm so down to do a midweek pod.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Like Canada is whatever, but like once we get into the European leg of the calendar, like we're definitely gonna have to, because that's when this shit's gonna get real, right? Because in Europe it's like 10 races in 8 weeks or whatever,
Yeah.
8 races in 10 weeks. Sorry. And like that's when the crux of the calendar kicks in, anyways. When it's like Austria, Britain, Monaco,
Yeah,
like, back to back. When it's like Barcelona, Spa, whatever the fuck, right? Can I be real about something? Can I get a hot take off?
Sure.
I am like 1,000% more on board with Hungarian Grand Prix, not because of anything they've done to the track, but because Hungary is finally, elected a non-fascist.
No, I'm happy for Hungary. I am, again, like, it would be nice if, like, the JD Vance curse could work on, like, on the home front. On the home front. But, I'm happy for it. I'm happy for them. I will say, again, I don't care about the ethics of the nation hosting. I don't care about how easy it is or to get there. I don't care if they deserve a Formula One race. If it's a good track, I'm pro having a race there. Sorry to the oppressed peoples of the world, including Loki myself at the moment.
Like whether Hungary deserves a race or not is actually a complicated question. And so for me, it's like, well, you maybe don't, but you have become politically acceptable because you elected fucking Magar.
Since when are we democracies only?
I'm not saying we're democracies only. However, I am saying that I am pro democracies only races more than I am pro dictatorships.
I mean, I wouldn't go there.
Okay, well, okay, you would be fine going on Grand Prix. I would probably not be. Okay. Hungarian, the new Hungarian prime minister is pro-gay and press freedom and opposition. Like, look, do I think he's going to be perfect? No. However, I am going to be thrilled if he allows for the next Hungarian election to include actual leftists. So we love the guy for now because that's what he deserves because he has done what he's done. But look, you would be safe in a Hungarian Grand Prix this year, not so much. So you know what, we're gonna let him have the wins where he takes them.
I think
unless you think that I don't deserve rights, which of course you do.
No, I just think in terms of the logistics of travel, the threat to a man is always going to be less than a threat to a woman.
Oh, wow.
Unless you're
So gay men don't deserve
but
rights.
you're not
I see how it is.
You're not okay, this is bad, but you're not visibly gay. So unless you tell them, they're not gonna know. I fuck women. I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna be volunteering that information as I'm going through the fucking passport stamp. But I still wouldn't go if I were.
The funny thing is that you're, of course, correct.
Duh.
No, of course you're correct that, if I wanted to go to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, yes, you're correct. That I could just, fake it, right?
Yeah.
But, Jesus Christ.
I didn't know how else to phrase it. 1 second, I gotta get water.
CJ. Wow. Oh my God. So apparently CJ.
Oh no. Oh, you're back.
CJ hates me. That's what we're finding out. She wants me to die.
What races what would you what's on your bucket list still?
Monza. Okay, so Kona's on the bucket list, but I could very obviously go to Kona. I just haven't yet.
Same.
Silverstone. Here's the thing. I want to go to Silverstone, but I found out who you were through the Silverstone.
Oh my God! Wait, I didn't know that. What a first.
You have dissuaded me from going to Silverstone.
No, listen. I was just wildly underprepared. Mentally, I was not I hadn't locked in for what this was going to be, and I think that first of all, the fact I showed up to a field in the middle of rural England with a duffel bag and a dream, and I still had a great time. I did have 3 different panic attacks, but I'm just mentally ill. It was still fun. And
the first video of yours I ever saw,
I'm crying at qualifying.
Was you in an airport was you in Heathrow about to go to Silverstone?
Images taken moments before disaster. No, it was still really fun. I was just the next time I would have a car, maybe get there more than 12. I literally just Ubered from the airport to Silverstone. And then I was like, hey, is there a Tesco or a CVS around here? And they're like, the nearest town's 45 minutes away. How is that possible?
So here's the thing. If I was gonna do Silverstone, I would just rent a hotel in Milton Keynes and a car and drive.
The problem is we drove for Monza. It was totally the move. It was great. But the problem is but we were smart because we instead of booking a hotel in Monza, we're like, let's just go the other direction. And there was no traffic. It was great. But you're static. Oh, but the problem with Silverstone is that they literally have done nothing to the infrastructure there since they made it a fucking Air Force base. So it's very the roads are you're gonna sit in 3 hours of traffic. No matter where you're coming from, it's kind of crazy. There is a hotel.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about being there for practice.
Yeah, but I just don't like. I get car sick. I don't like sitting in traffic, and I will say camping, going to the concert and camping, that was so fun, and I do think it's part of the fun of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Here's the real thing. Monaco is absolutely the answer of the race that I want to go to, but
you're giving us pit passes. I have to be your +1. I will not accept someone else being your +1.
You know that I am engaged, right?
What?
You know that I am engaged, right?
Okay. No offense, but you can't get a +2. He's also rich. He can get his own pit pass.
Oh, gee, I love you so much.
He's getting all of your money. Come on.
No. CJ and Evan tackles Monaco 2028 is an absolute. Is we need to get a spot. We need to get sponsored for that, because here's the thing.
No, if you get us pit passes, I'll buy a swanky hotel because I can.
I will spend $40,000 at the casino in Monaco.
Oh, I'm not a big gambler, but I will get us a swanky hotel because I'm a constant thief of my dad's Amex points. So.
Oh, do you have an opinion on the Spirit Airlines of it all? What's happened this week?
I mean, this has been happening for a while. I'm not surprised that they're going out of business.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm seeing all these people be like, oh no, what is happening to the Spirit Airlines travelers? And it's I don't know, man. You decided to book for an airline that declared bankruptcy 6 months ago. I feel like this is on you, Teeps.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, with the fuel crisis, I am trying to freaking get to Edinburgh so I can read Gordon Brown's student paper writings. And
look, I have friends at the fucking University of Edinburgh. Just fucking text me what you need.
Okay, I will text you because I have them all written down. I actually have the box in the library that I need. But
okay, thank you. Yes, I will text. This is the thing about covering British politics 2 times a year for my Substack. Mm-hmm. It's kind of scripted on Substack.com. Consider it for your page subscription if you want to. If you want to see my, thoughts. Oh,
they are very good. And wait, pitch your op-ed that you did. That was really good.
Oh yes, no. So I got an op-ed in the Canadian version of the Atlantic, or the Canadian version of the New Yorker, on the Canadian NDP, which was really fucking cool, and I'm really proud of it. And did you read this?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay.
I'm taking it that these are the Canadian.
It's Bernie and Zoran and Liz Warren were in their own party.
Yeah. If the U.S. Greens were like the British Greens.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was this real thing where I was so, because I've been asked, I've got a bunch of DMs being oh yeah, we'd love to publish a piece of yours, right? And I write it, and then they just simply do not respond when I send it. And so I'm okay, yeah, sure. You want to hire you? So yeah, great, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And then they were actually no, we want to do this. Here are edits to your piece.
Okay.
But yet, so the funny thing is, McLean's has been absolutely devalued since its peak. But I came to care about politics because we were a subscriber to McLean's magazine, like in the child. When I was like 11 years old, that's how it got me into politics. Like, and then like, I just like I got asked to write a piece for the magazine that like
No.
made me care about politics as a teenager.
No, yeah. And listen, I always argue with people that like print media still matters like the most actually because it's where all of the other media is getting their information. So like it all flows.
That's the thing about like the British people talk about like how the British press don't matter anymore. But like if you watch like Sky News, the BBC, ITV channel,
Even TikTok, it's just screenshots of newspaper headlines. Like
right, exactly. Like there is absolutely value to working for the Times or the Guardian or whatever because
it's agenda setting. Wait, what's the title of your op-ed?
Okay, I'm gonna have to leave for 2 seconds to find out what the fuck
Okay,
it's
no.
all about.
I'll be back.
Because I don't write the headlines of my own pieces when I write for other people. But I am still here.
Yes.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, having linguistics ever diminished NDB. Yeah.
Look how much hotter I am when I'm facing the window. Like it's actually crazy how much lighting matters. Anyway, continue.
Okay, no. So here's the thing. Can I say something that will sound rude but will be a compliment?
I should try to look better on the internet.
No, that's not what I was gonna say. I didn't understand how much makeup mattered until I saw you. Do you remember when you made the YF1 Academy song?
Oh yeah. Because I was because I was putting on. Because even when you guys see me do my makeup, like even when I do other videos where I'm like getting ready or whatever,
Yeah.
that's just like
work makeup.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to make myself hot. When I put on my full hot person disguise, I'm pretty hot. Just saying.
So that was the moment where I just like, oh, holy shit, like makeup actually matters.
Well, and also I dress like this all of the time. Like if when I actually put on clothes that you can see my body, it's like, whoa, she's a girl.
Yeah, but so you put on like you did like which dress should I wear? And then you did like the YF1 Academy sucks video. And I'm like, oh shit, you're actually like. And again, I am a homosexual. I have no interest in fucking you, like, to be very clear. But I'm like, oh damn, I would fuck her,
No, I used to. Now I don't because like I'm just so lazy. And also if I put one more barrier in between me and recording a video, I just won't do it. But in the beginning, I used to wear makeup for like most of my videos. And then like the difference, like one time I pulled, after doing it for like 2 years, I pulled the stats on all my videos and I separated them out, like the metrics for like when I was wearing makeup versus when I wasn't. Depressing shit. Let me tell you that right now.
So you know about what, right?
Oh, yes, I love Madeline.
So she is the person who like really made me understand just how much makeup helps. Because to be clear, not that she looks like bad with that makeup, but like holy fuck, she makes me understand the value of makeup.
No, it makes a huge difference. It does.
No, it truly does. And like this is incredibly homosexual because I have just been like, oh, okay, I did not understand that the women that I.
But it also makes sense that it took you like that long to figure it out because it's not like you've ever like you wouldn't have lived with a woman and you see her do her makeup. You know what I mean?
Correct, exactly right. You are right for sure. But it's just like she is the one where I'm like.
That's why it always makes me laugh when because straight men will do this in the reverse and be like, oh my god, like she's so ugly without makeup. Or like they like realize and I'm like, what an odd way to admit that you've never fucked a woman before. Like
Exactly for me.
Well, it makes sense.
I'm gay as fuck.
Exactly. No, it makes a little bit more sense.
Because like I see her, and look, she's still gorgeous.
Of course.
Makeup, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to diminish her by any means. But like, It's just like, oh damn, I see it so much more as she does her get readies with me, and I'm like, oh damn, I did not realize makeup could do all of that, you know?
No, I mean, and I didn't either because like I grew up like my mom like has never like worn makeup done her like we live in the middle of the woods, like it just wouldn't really make that much sense. And so when I went to school and they were like, they like first transformed me, I was like, holy shit. But unfortunately, it is like the chores you have to do, like not just like nails, gym, like, but like the fake tanning schedule. Like, if you really want to be on it, like your eyebrows, like getting your hair done like every 6 weeks, like it is not only expensive, but just like incredibly time consuming. And like, I've been doing this fucking face massage shit. It's it's so much, and even just, like, I remember when I first, moved in with, like, all my friends in New York, like, my we'd be getting ready, and it would take them an hour to do their makeup, and I'm like, "What could you possibly be doing for an hour?" But now I'm like, "No," like, I see like, I get, like, what like, I get what they were doing, and, like, obviously, I'm not spending an hour doing my makeup because 'cause I'm lazy as fuck, but, like, I could, and it does look better if you do that.
Again, the gayest, my gayest indulgence is being attracted to men who spend zero time on their appearance and just, but it's just like, oh, but they've got abs, so I'm like, okay, well, you're on. So
No, your preference for a incredibly fit physique is the gayest thing about you, I will say. Because 'Cause I'm like, I don't like men that are in shape because then you're gonna want me to be in shape, and it's not happening. So
well, I'm on like 276 days of 10,000 steps a day.
there you go.
Yeah, and so I do a 2 minute plank every day, and then I do 10,000 steps a day, which I have not done today because I usually do it like I do it like after midnight strikes, and so I'm only at like 3,000 steps today, so I'm gonna have to do a bunch of shit tonight after this call ends, but it's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, like I've lost like 100 pounds in the
Look at
last like year,
you.
9 months, whatever.
Yeah, I need to start working out again, but it's just not my thing. I just don't like it.
Okay, but here's the thing. You not working out, you're still hot as shit. I
Yeah,
was
it's not
like morbidly obese and am now getting to
No,
like
yeah, you should
slightly fat.
health-wise, like, that's so great and important, and no, it's not really about how I look, it's more just like
Remember when we did like it was like the Australia or the China post first live and you got mad at me for pacing?
well, yeah, because I could hear your footsteps, I was like, "What is going on?" Um,
Because I was wearing, because it was like fucking February,
uh
and I was wearing jeans opposed to shorts, and then the fucking pant leg was fucking dragging on me. You're saying homophobic?
I will say running when you're in shape for running is so great, but I just getting there is so torturous. It's so
Yeah,
torturous.
that's the thing. That's what's taking me like now I'm like, oh no, I could like legitimately like I think perfectly fine taking a girl selfie, but like up until now it's like no, I would rather kill myself than do that.
Oh, when they made you don't understand. In 2000 before 2014, the only one-piece bathing suits that were available for women were, like, what you would wear to, like, compete at swimming. Like, they were, like, ugly, you know what I mean? When they made cute one pieces, I never went back. A revolution, genuinely, and I never will. I never No, I brought to Italy, I was like, "I'm gonna bring only a bikini and, like, force myself to wear it," and it was fine, but I am like, yeah, the one piece life is for me. I just my stomach is so pale, like, it's not as tan as the rest of me, and it just never will be, so, you know what? But I will say, I'm glad I did do that because people were fully ass out in Italy. I need to get more thong bikinis to fit in with the peeps in Europe because I felt silly.
So Albon and Ocon have both had
They're hearing.
yellow flag infringements dismissed.
Okay.
Can I be very real with the audience right now? I don't know who came like so like Franco's PA, Lewis 7. I don't know who scored points.
Williams were the last two.
Oh, wow. Okay, double points finished one. Okay, James Vowles, you're off front watch for a day. Okay, good for you.
I think he's still well in the doghouse. But they slimmed down. They're slimmer.
Can I get a takeoff?
Sure.
Is this a safe space?
Sure.
Carlos Sainz would not get the opportunities he does in F1. Who else not?
I also think his dad being important is that as well. But yeah.
Okay.
He's also like and to be fair, this is like part of the game, but he's also like very well liked by the media class. Like he plays it well.
Remember, it was Mexico 2024 when Bundles was just like, yeah, no, I've always loved Carlos. You know, he's so great. You know, I've always been a fan of his. I'm very glad that he gets to win another race before he's unceremoniously fired by.
Yeah, remember when Charles outperformed him by like 40 points that season, and then they were like, did Ferrari fire the wrong driver?
Well, because here's the thing, right? Carlos, I will say, in front of Carlos Sainz Jr., he had an incredible ability to win races in the somewhere between 2 and 4 races a year. He would beat Charles Leclerc, all right?
Yeah.
Like, Singapore 2020, like, here's the thing, right? Singapore 2023, the only time, I think it's the only pole position that Carlos has the entire season, right?
Well, he also when he was behind.
Max is the one where Max qualifies P11 and not P2. But, like, hey, he gets the win because Charles qualified P3 and was put on soft tires to sacrifice him, you know?
But that's the thing, is like, it was always like when Carlos has a chance to win, we're going to sacrifice Charles. We're going to do everything possible. When Charles is ahead, we're free to fight.
No, because here's the thing. When Charles was high enough to qualify to, like, potentially win, Carlos wasn't close enough for it to matter.
Yeah. No, there were
The actual thing is that just, like, most of the time Carlos always managed to qualify in a position where, like, Charles was also close enough to be, like, a useful or better. Whereas when Charles would qualify either P1 or P2, Carlos would be, like, P7, at which point, like, he's just, like, literally not a useful runner because, like, who gives a fuck? But also, he cost Russell a win at Singapore 2023, so fuck Carlos Sainz.
The evil trio of Carlos is they will always.
Who's the third Carlos? You always say that. I'm sure I asked.
Carlos, the cousin, is also named Carlos, his manager.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Okay.
And then the dad, and then him.
Yeah. No, obviously they're Carlos Sainz Senior, and they're Carlos Sainz Junior. But like, who's the third Carlos?
No, his cousin there, who's his manager, is also called Carlos. So there's a lot of the evil trio of Carloses is exactly, yeah, being hot and marketable. And I also think there's something to be said about, like, you have to travel the world and spend a shitload of time with these people. Like, if you have a pre-existing relationship and, like, that they feel pretty positive about, like, of course that's going to help you, you know?
Fernando and Albon are both also excused under alleged yellow flag infringements.
Okay.
I'm only telling you this because I'm assuming that the, like, Charles Max infringements are also coming soon if we're getting decisions on the other ones.
Yeah. Hopefully. If Charles gets whatever, but.
I mean, look,
that's ridiculous if he does, but.
I don't give a fuck. I think Max deserves the penalty for the pit lane infringement, but, like, the difference between 5 and 6 is, like, really hard for me to not, like,
yeah,
I
yeah, I mean, I don't care, like, yeah, I don't really care that much, but at the end of the day, Charles, I mean, if Max was over the line, he was over the line. It just kind of is what it is, but Sorry, I'm scrubbed.
Off track in a lap where he was like, somewhere between like 9 and 17 seconds slower than George Russell, whatever it ended up being.
Right. He also hit the wall. Like, surely, like, I don't know how you can make an argument that he gained an advantage by hitting the wall.
Yeah, no, because here's the thing, right? There are a couple of tracks on the calendar.
Oh, driving in unsafe conditions. Okay, but first of all, I feel like they never did something fall off his car, maybe?
Track, right, where you can just kind of like straight line. It's the chicane in Monaco is the most obvious example where you can like drive off the track.
Yeah.
And get an advantage. I just like simply don't understand how like what Charles did on the last lap of the Miami Grand Prix qualifies,
Well, someone said medium said unsafe condition, but yeah, no, I don't have really strong oh, the Monaco chicane.
Charles didn't come into an unsafe position until the final lap of the race. So what was he supposed to fucking pit on the final lap?
Yeah. No, honestly, he should have pulled over.
In a safer position.
He should have pulled over or caused a red flag because then on count back he would still be P3.
No, it's absolutely insane. Like the idea, like I don't give a fuck about Charles Leclerc. Like you know this about me, right? Like I want to care about Charles because I think he's hot, but like as a driver, I don't give a fuck. The idea that he did anything wrong on that final lap is like literally one of the most insane positions that anybody can hold.
Especially because he like bounced out of the wall. So like if he was to stop, like he probably would have caused a red flag. So
and also like respectfully, he lost 2 positions on the final lap, right? Like he was fourth going into the final lap because he had been passed by Piastri. And then the final lap saw him lose positions to George and Max. Like,
right.
And again, whether or not Max deserves a penalty for, like whether or not Max deserves a penalty for the pit lane stuff, like who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Well, just the other stuff, like I don't know.
It is crazy to me that they're investigating the pit lane thing at like what mitigating. He either went over the line or didn't. Like what mitigating circumstances could there?
Medium where makes the point that like you're arguing between P5 and P6.
No, it like
ahead of both of them. Like I don't really know what we're supposed to be arguing about. Like
no, it doesn't matter.
Might the 4 points between P4 and P6 matter to George Russell in a championship fight? Yeah, maybe. Right? Like if you can get his shit together. But,
yeah, I was gonna say maybe not.
Well, no, it absolutely might not. If George's fucking sucks for sure, it might not. But like, yeah, might it matter? Yeah, maybe for George. But like, it certainly is not going to matter for Charles because here's the thing: we know this already. Drivers don't give a fuck between the difference between P3 and P4. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Especially Charles. There's like literally no way. I don't think they're in the championship. That's a little optimistic, I think.
No, exactly. Like the championship is going to be between George and Kimi this year, I think.
Maybe McLaren, but yeah.
McLaren, I mean, look, man, if you couldn't beat Mercedes this weekend,
yeah, that's true.
Mercedes don't have the upgrade, like, they're not beating us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, yeah, this was definitely, and like for a hot second there, it looked like maybe that was the case, but no, they definitely didn't. They had their moment to sort of stake there. But also, I will say, I feel like
okay, so George has been cleared of any incidents between him and Max.
Okay.
In the laps leading up to the final lap of the race.
Okay, I didn't even know they were investigating that, but good for him, I guess. Let's see if Max.
And Max is similarly non-penalized for any infraction vis-a-vis the racing with George.
Okay, but we still don't know about his pit lane infraction.
No, correct.
Why are we acting like this is something that we need to do like full house oversight committee hearing on? Like either what?
Okay, but here's the thing: that oversight committee is clearly not doing their job. So
okay, wow. What do you want?
Look, I'm not allowed to make actual political comments. I'm allowed to make jokes about it on this live. Okay.
Since when are we not allowed to make actual political comments? Ooh. Sorry.
I don't know. Is your job requires a amount of discretion?
Oh, yeah. I still don't. I'm technically not allowed to express political opinions, but I do anyway all the time.
Which is why we are not allowed to talk.
Right.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we're fucked, bro. Might have to move to Canada.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
Look, you and I committing a shame. Green card, I'm perfectly fine with that.
We can what? Sorry? You cut out. Oh no, you're muted again.
Sorry. We have Charles. We have Charles.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave. I'm leaving and
Okay, will Charles get a penalty? Hopefully not, but also
has a drive-through penalty.
What? That's.
I'm gonna read the decision and then come back to it. Okay.
Wait, that's actually fucking crazy. What do you mean he has a drive-through penalty? Okay, that's like actually fucking so stupid.
He's getting 20 seconds ahead of his time.
Oh, thank God. I thought he was gonna have to serve it like next race or something.
No. It's 20 seconds ahead of the race time. So Matt, even if Max has a penalty for other shit, Charles still sixth, and then Lewis and maybe Franco are still ahead of him.
Okay, whatever. That's fine. I mean, stupid, like, that definitely does not deserve to be a drive-through penalty. Like, that's crazy, but whatever, who cares? The stewards are... They went to doing it, like, it was always rotating. Like, it wasn't the same group of people, but now and they were like, we want more... They saw everyone say, like, oh, we want more consistency, like, we want it to be the same people. And they were like, actually, we're just going to have an even bigger pool of people. But don't worry, it's going to be professional now because we have them go to, like, classes and shit. That's not what... You know what would make them professionals? If you paid them. They're still not doing that, by the way. So...
Well, yeah, of course.
Spending $100 million on their new stewarding program, not paying anyone. I mean, I don't know where that money is going. They do have to hire more race directors, so presumably some of it is going there. But, like... They have this whole big steward program now, still, but like anything but paying them, truly.
The show of it all basically is like the car wasn't fucked enough to deserve leniency on the fact that he had to keep cutting chicanes.
Okay, but they didn't black and yellow flag him.
Yeah, because it seems like Charles didn't want to rat Ferrari out enough for delivering him a shitty car.
Whatever, who cares?
Is there like the driver admitted the car was not in sufficiently mechanical distress or whatever the fuck? I don't really know.
Okay, so I guess for cutting all the corners. I'm gonna go. Well, there's got to be. I don't even need to do it. I know the Tarlitos are definitely Fosse are definitely already on it. But there's definitely been like when Lewis had that one tire at at 3 tires at Silverstone. I bet you he cut some fucking chicanes.
No, yeah, okay, but here's the thing: Silverstone doesn't have a tight corner in the last sector. So
okay, you're either in.
Actually, Lewis kept it on track, but that's because he wasn't like really.
That's true. Listen, I don't want him to get a penalty for that either. I'm just saying, like, this is crazy. I feel like this situation has happened.
To be clear, I want to be on the record saying, I do not think the Charlotte Players are penalties. I wanted that on the record immediately. I think he should finish ahead of Max. I think the fact he's going to finish behind Lewis and maybe Franco is bad.
Whatever. Who gives a shit?
Okay, so you just hate homosexuals doing well. Okay, fine.
I just hate Max or Franco.
I meant Charles.
Oh. No, I just don't really like whatever P6, P8, like it's all bad.
Right, exactly. Like here's the Charles don't out of Monaco. Nothing changed.
As soon as I saw him spin in that last corner, I was on to Cincinnati. You know what I mean?
Remember the fact that you somehow won the Super Bowl that year?
I do.
You know what Super Bowl that was, right?
That's the Deflategate year now.
That's Michael Butler, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, that was the first Super Bowl I was legally allowed to gamble on.
I was in college for that one, I think, and I remember because we had to go.
That would have been like junior or senior year of college for you,
I think sophomore because I remember there was we did like a party. We did like a party with a frat, and they were like, you have to go, and I was like, no, like I don't like no, like I need to like I don't like watching football games with like not my dad because nobody else is like taking it as seriously as I'm taking it right now. You know what I mean? Like I get upset for real. So
this is like a real
like way more than F1. Like I'll cry. Like I'll literally have an emotional reaction that's not appropriate for an adult to have. So like I can't do this in public. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. Okay, good that the Max and George is risk is that like I'm really sorry. Like regardless of whichever side was deemed guilty, like that would be completely
that'd be stupid.
Ferrari managed P2 last year in Monaco. Like Charles managed pole position in 2021 Monaco. Like I think Charles's ability to get pole in Monaco is like quite incredible.
Yeah.
No, I don't think either George or Max did anything wrong. Like trust me, I'm a George fan. Like I'm gonna play Max if I can. I can. I think they both raced hard but fair. Like literally, if the definition of a racing incident is what George and Max.
No, yeah, I agree.
Oh. I will say it's really funny that you're just like, yeah, I don't want to be like seen watching the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
I can't
with other people because I read a bunch of fiction in the last like 5 years that I mostly haven't published, but I did publish one. But do you ever read the first like third of and then never read the rest of CJ?
I'll get there.
We need to set like a public punishment for you if you have not read the rest of Salvation by like X date.
Okay, you gotta send me a date. I'll do it by then. If you give me a deadline, I'll do it.
By Silverstone.
Okay.
You need $100 to me if you have not read the entirety of Salvation by Silverstone.
Okay, I can do that easy.
Sounds good. I know you can because you have had like literally your shit.
And I read all the fanfic you sent me. Okay, so.
Can I be a bad person?
Yes.
I did think that like a Pierre Gasly Liam Lawson fic would make sense after a tennis crash. Lawson is just like such a bottom.
I'm more of a. I'm not into just the pure porn of it all. I need a little bit of a. storyline.
But you know, you're not interested in the fact that Pierre's got a quote big monster.
According to Pierre.
No, according to Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh.
Do you not remember the Alpha?
No, I'm not keeping track of Pierre Gasly's dick. What?
So, 2022 AlphaTauri Christmas Twister video.
The fact that you know the name of the video.
I don't remember the look.
Published on January 1st.
Homosexual, I'm gonna use the F slur. I'll get you the fucking sanction.
No, please. Please, I already have so many more things. That kills me. Oh. Oh no. Here, I'll bring you guys with me when I get my brush. Oh, the Pierre. Catholic. His dad's a Mexican senator that's maybe in with some bad people, but that's just a rumor.
But like, no, this is the problem. Is that I feel like that. Like, Jordan Russell, incredibly boring fanfic character, because it's like, what do we actually know about Jordan Russell? You know, like, check out, like, yeah, okay, maybe she.
I think like the only interesting dynamic George has to me is like the George Toto of it all. And like Toto with all of his little followers. Like Nico.
I feel like you would need to, if you were going to do George Toto, you would have to it would have to be Toto Nico.
Yeah, you have to start in 2016.
Right, and then you have to have Toto cheat on Nico with George, and then it ends up as this.
No, I think it's more like it's a classic. It's a classic. Toto is in the classic Alistair Campbell role, which is where he is like super into Nico, but Nico is like obsessed with Lewis, and so he's kind of like. And then Nico leaves, and then like it kind of starts to happen again with George, and he's like, and George is like living in Nico's shadow, and like et cetera, et cetera. I feel like that could be an interesting fic.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I agree with you all on this, but I just I think the difference between interesting drivers from a racing standpoint, I find Verstappen to be incredibly boring from a fanfic standpoint, despite the fact that I find them to be quite interesting on track, right? I just don't think the things that make good on track pairings necessarily makes good off track pairings.
See, I think that I see why Verstappen is popular because first of all, I just love a good rivals to lovers fic, but I also think they're both pretty interesting people in general, and they're different enough, but their lives have enough overlap to make them pretty easy to write together, if that makes sense.
But they haven't ever really fought each other.
Well, yeah, they've never fought each other for anything. That's the problem. You'd have to a good. I haven't really dove into F1 fanfic like I have other fandoms, but a good Verstappen fanfic would have to be a fictionalized title fight between them.
Right, that's the thing. You would need Ferrari. You would just need to fictionalize 2022 with Ferrari more.
Alternate universe, Ferrari is competent.
Right, exactly. 2022, but Ferrari doesn't fuck up.
Everything.
Doesn't fuck up Hungary. Doesn't fuck up France. Doesn't fuck up all these things. Because here's the thing. I'm totally on board. If you're gonna do a full AU, that's fine. But the problem with Charles and Max is that it's they're close enough to make the AU interesting, but they're not close enough to make Like they're too close to make people go full you.
Yeah.
But they're not close enough for the actual history to like
To be interesting. Which is why, but what's funny is the ones with actually interesting history have no goddamn fix.
Well, so here's my thing. Lewis and Seb is like actually the most interesting fandom that has like no real amount of fix.
See, I actually don't. I couldn't disagree more. Like, I just don't see them as like a romantic. Like, I just don't see it really at all.
So here's the thing. I think
Like, they're definitely good friends. I mean, I see why people say that. Like, they are definitely like the closest of like Lewis and anyone in that generation and everything. But I just feel like Lewis and Seb are such fundamentally like polar opposite people that like what life could they be living that would be like compelling to tell a story? But and they suffer from the Lestappen problem of they were never truly rivals.
2017 and 2018 are the only times.
Sure, but also it's like,
I think there is
but Seb wouldn't look back on looks back on that and thinks Ferrari robbed me of a chance to fight. He doesn't look back on that and be like, oh, like Lewis, like, you know what I mean? Like the resentment.
So 2017 would be the way I would do it if I were gun to my head having to write this would be Lewis 2017. Like it would be essentially Lewis and Seb hook up like New Year's Eve 2017. Holy shit, the sex is incredible. Then they realize like, oh shit, like reg change, we gotta do this. And it like, but they're fucking, but also they're fighting. That would be the only way to do it. IMO. But like, it's absolutely not perfect by any means, but like, I think there's a version of a 2017 Lewis, like one that could work, but I agree it's not a perfect version by any means.
Where is my Prost Senna 100,000 word fic? Like that is what we need.
Nobody wants to write about a pedophile.
Nobody thinks okay, but we can have everything else to be about a pedophile. And he would A you where he isn't a pedophile.
I mean, yes, that's true. That if he's fucking Prost, he's not a pedo, but yes.
Well, poor Kato Lestos, but they I think he could easily do both. But the no, I mean, listen, there's a lot of good I think any like true like any the nature of like the dynamic between both F1 teammates and also just like kind of all of the drivers in generally, especially when they're both at the sharp end. But even if they're not, like the kind of I think an interesting one could be like grappling with the fact that you're going to have different fates in Formula 1, right? But
well, I think that would like if George wins the Atlas here, then I think like George Alex like said it like years in the past would be interesting, but like the thing is you would need George to actually win a title before that's like an interesting, compelling narrative.
Yeah. But
okay, but here's the thing. Max George like theoretically makes a lot of sense, but here's the thing. How many times have George and Max actually fought on track? It's like 3, and none of them have been. And they've been like for like a race win in Spain 22 when the Mercedes was shit.
The problem is the only good title fights we've had recently. The only good title fight we've had recently has been Lewis and Max, who like both clearly don't give a fuck about each other like at all.
Lewis and Max, and then
not even in a negative way. Like I don't think either of them.
Lando Max didn't like really like live up to the drama in 24.
It did on